Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be doing another video for the Get Goth With Me series. If you haven't seen the other videos in the series, there'll be a link to the playlist in the description. Today I'll be creating this cyber goth style look. So as always, we're going to begin with a good primer, and then we're going to use some concealer to cover any blemishes and also use it as a base for our eye makeup. Now to set that eye base, we're going to apply some matte white eyeshadow from the brow bone down to the crease. And then we're going to add a white eyeshadow base just to the lids and underneath the lower lashes. Now that's nice and even, we're going to clean up a little bit around the edges if necessary. And then for this look, we're going to do one purple eye and one green eye. So I'm using a bright purple eyeshadow to pack on to the centre of one lid, and I'm going to keep packing that on until it's nice and evenly covered. Now for some neon green, and I'm going to do exactly the same as with the purple, packing that onto the lid until it's how I want it. Now for some shading, I'm going to take this dark purple and blend it into the outer edge, through the crease, and also along the lower lash line. Same for the other eye, but using a dark green shadow. Again, blend it into the outer edge, the crease, and along the lower lash line. Bringing that shadow up a little bit higher at the outer edge will lift the shape of the eye and give a more flattering and less panda eye effect. Now I'm going to take some white powder highlighter, and I'm going to use this to highlight both inner corners. Now I'm taking our first bright purple and green, and I'm just really lightly going over the lower lash line to diffuse the colour down a little bit and give more of a smooth finish. At this point, if you feel like the lid has lost its colour a little bit, you can go over those again. For me, this green just wasn't really doing it for me, so I'm going to add a little bit of this more yellowish green on top to add a bit more opacity to that green. Now we're going to take a matte black eyeshadow to draw in some eyebrows. For this look, I'll be covering my natural hair, so we don't have to worry about matching the brows to the hair in this case. I'm keeping the brows quite thin and quite straight across, so not really much of an arch. To give that lower lash line a bit more definition, I'm going to carefully run a tiny bit of that black shadow along the lower lashes too. Now this part is optional. I'm mapping out where I'm going to draw in some extra lower lashes later on, so I can get a good idea of where I want them and how many I want. But you don't have to use the shadow first, you can just skip this step and go straight in with the liquid liner if you want to. Now for foundation, I'm using a mixture of my usual full coverage foundation with some white foundation to create a little bit of a paler complexion. Not that that's all that possible with how pale I am, but we're going to add the white all the same. As always, I'm dotting this on with my finger and then I'll blend it all together and buff it out with a foundation brush. I'm really sorry about my voice today, guys. For the past week I've had the flu and it just seems to be holding on to my nose and to my throat for dear life, so that's why I sound a bit weird today. Again, make sure, as always, if you're using a different foundation colour to your normal skin tone, to go up onto the ears and blend down the neck as well. Now for some contouring. Today I'm using a black cream makeup stick. I found that the black contour matched the industrial type vibe of this look a little bit better. And absolutely more than ever, blending is definitely the key. Make sure you blend that black in really well, otherwise it's just going to look a little bit like you've got a dirty face. Now I'm just increasing a little bit more of that contour on the cheeks. I didn't feel like it was bold enough, but again, you really want to blend that out as much as possible. Now to emphasise and set that black contouring, we're going to use a cool toned brown powder. Although I've used some white foundation, my complexion isn't perfectly paper white, so using a brown contour powder over the top gives a more believable contour for my skin tone. For the rest of my face, I'm going to set the foundation with white pressed powder. Now, I'm already pretty much as pale as I was aiming for, so I'm not packing this white powder on, I'm just setting the makeup underneath. Now for some glitter. I'm going to apply this white iridescent glitter to the inner corners of my eyes using a glitter primer. So first I'm going to dab a tiny little bit of the glitter primer onto the inner corners, and then I'm going to use a different brush to carefully roll on some of that iridescent glitter. Rolling it on means that it won't disturb the eyeshadow underneath, so you just want to be really careful and very gentle. If there's any fallout, we need to brush that away now as best we can. And then we're going to line the top and bottom waterlines with black liner pencil, like so. And then we're going to move on to use a liquid liner to draw in a nice big wing shape, using that elevated shape of the eyeshadow as a guide. And I'm going to make sure those points are nice and sharp, and then give an extra little flick inwards towards the crease for some added interest. So here's where I'm drawing in those extra lower lashes. I'm going for 2 on each side, making sure to keep referring back to the first eye so that the second eye matches up as best I can. Now for even more fun, I'm going to add a few details around my eyebrows. This is where you can really be as creative as you like and do whatever you think will look cool. Typically these details will come in the form of sharp lines and some dots, so just do whatever you want within those little guidelines. It doesn't have to be symmetrical at all. In fact, I think it looks better if it's not symmetrical. It gives a little bit more interest that way. Now for the lips, I'm going to start by lining with a black liner pencil. Again, you can decide if you want to overline the lips or keep them as they are or emphasise the cupid's bow, whatever shape you really want. And then we're going to add a nice bright purple to the centre of the lips. And then some black around the edges. And then smash your lips together while both of the colours are still a little bit wet, and this should ombre them together and give a nice grade from the black into the purple in the middle. If you need to, clean up those edges with a pencil that matches your foundation shade, wiping the pencil off after each swipe to avoid smudging any lipstick where you don't want lipstick. Now while the lipstick sets, we're going to go back to the eyes for a moment, and I'm using a lash primer to go on the top and bottom lashes, and while that sets, we're going to add our highlights. I'm using a green cream highlight first, applying it with gentle tapping motions to my cheeks, my nose, cupid's bow and my bottom lip. I think the green sheen over the top of the purple looks really cool. I really love this look. And then I'm going to go in with a lavender coloured powder highlight to everywhere that I've applied the cream except for the lips. I'm keeping that as mainly green. For mascara today, I'm going to be using 3 different colours. I'm using a green mascara on the lower lashes for my purple eye, a pink mascara for the lower lashes on my green eye, and black mascara for the top lashes. Using that lash primer will not only make the lashes look a bit longer, but it also gives the coloured mascara a better surface to stick to, so it gives you a better colour payoff. I've also added some half lashes underneath the lower lashes to give another cute detail. And now for the black mascara, which I have finally managed to apply without making a mess. Hooray! go me. And now I'm going to add some dramatic lashes to the top lashes as well. Then I'm just going to do a quick clean up of my piercings because I got makeup on them because I am messy. And this is the completed look. And I've added dreadfalls and goggles and a few different accessories. That's it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you did, please put a little like on it for me. And if you want to see more of my makeup looks, you can click the links on screen now or the playlist in the description below. And I'll talk to you in the next one.